Oh, do we have promos anymore? Or are we still doing that too? Okay, sweet. All good. Talk more golf. Okay, we've got some major news that has come down today. And I don't know if Ben Raza is fully prepared for this or not. We have to say goodbye to an era. He never is. Ben is not. And I'm not wasting this intro either. So I can see my face and we're good to go here. But we have earth-shattering news, Ben, in the world of sports betting. Before we can even look at anything, before we can even focus in on the day, the night, that is in the world of baseball and beyond, wherever we can find some value on the OddsShopper premium tool. We also say goodbye to an era. Now, I don't know. You are a man of fine cuisine. So I ask you, have you ever had the $100 burger or $99 milkshake that has gold involved in both at the Salt Bay restaurant that is now shutting down? You know, the epic, notorious, infamous Salt Bay.
No, I don't know. I know that guy, but where is that?
It's in New York City.
No, that still no.
You've never taken the train?
I've been to New York City, obviously. I was in Vegas once and there was a dessert with gold in it. It was like in order. It was comically expensive, and the waiter, shout out to that waiter if he's watching the show, appreciate you. He was like, "Yeah, don't get that. It's not worth it." And then I got some type of like molten lava cake, and it was actually fantastic. So there you go.
Okay, what's the most you've ever spent on a dessert? And look, we know that we know that you are a man of money, that you've earned your money. Okay, so
fake news too. Not a lot. I'm not a big dessert guy. I don't like dessert.
You've never had a creme brulee that is infused with gold and like, okay.
No,
you've never. Okay,
I don't like creme brulee. I mean, I've had
What's up, Sean?
Yeah,
I don't
either.
Okay, just curious. Curious.
Give me a skillet cookie. That's my speed. I don't need anything crazy.
No, we've talked about your dessert type.
Okay.
Like, we've talked about you being partial to certain types of dessert. I'm just curious if, like, you know, you're on some sort of bender, right? You're on this major streak. You just won a shit ton of money playing poker, and you thought to yourself, what the hell? I'm going to spend $200 on this ridiculous dessert that's got platinum flakes in it or something.
I mean, we'll see what the tools can do. You know, if we have a good night tonight, maybe tomorrow I treat myself to some gold, whatever the hell you're talking about. But
okay, we're gonna hit a parlay.
We gotta cash some tickets before I'll be eating Cheerios.
Correct. Well, although they took a Cheerios off the market now, I forget what.
Why? What happened to them?
Well, one flavor is done. I don't remember the flavor. I'm sure the chat knows. The chat is up on everything. Yeah, Rob Swan, that is a freaking brutal beat, because I needed that home run individually and for a same game parlay. Oh, my friend. All right, let's look at this, man. We remind you, we're going to give you 70% off your first month. That link is below. Sign up. Let's go is the code. Or you could just jump in. 70% off your first month. And that month, you can do a lot of damage with it. As you can imagine, home runs are up there. Enrique Hernandez, 2+ hits. So you got a lot of baseball to look at. I did see a tennis. Yeah, there's a little tennis place sneaking in there with a 4% plus EV, Vickery versus Vectas, under 2.5 total sets. But right? But
those are the best kind.
The undersets?
No, just in general, stuff that you don't know, because there's just like no bias in. Yep. I don't think anyone has their own takes on Sasha versus Amina. So there you go.
No, the only other one I would mention is this is still up there. This was a 15% plus EV play. If A, you were on the OddsShopper premium tool earlier in the day, and B, you are still somehow allowed to bet on PointsBet. I know a lot of us are simply not. But my point being, Ben, is that This was at even money. Rory over Koepka on PointsBet. It's still a plus EV bet, but outside of baseball, like if you're here, you're hanging, you're like, all right, shut up, Shander, just give me the home run plays. I get it. You're going to get those in a second, but just to open up your mind and the range that we have with this tool, you have a plus EV leg for tennis you can add, and you have still up there on BetMGM a plus EV matchup in the U.S. Open, which is Rory over Koepka. So it's not all home runs, Ben. That's all I'm saying.
No, and things will, again, time is going to change the lines both ways. These are going to go away and new bets are going to show up. MMA, things like that appear randomly at times. Certainly there's a ton of matches and the US Open is tomorrow, but I did want to just ask you, because I didn't see a second of it, because by the time I looked, it was 6-1. The old 9-3 hockey game last night. I mean, it kind of went out without a bang. Just the Knights, good for them, but what a weird finish to the series and just to the year. It's just a bizarre playoffs as hockey usually produces.
Hey, man, we were all over that on our Discord last night. That was a nice little play there. We were able to use the tool. What you were?
Not me. You were doing that. You did some good work there.
Well, look, I say we because it's collective, right? Like I didn't lead with the fact that you stole my fever play for the community.
And it worked out perfectly.
Be fair, that is the first time. Oh, no, because you didn't do it, so I don't even want to go down that lie by any means. Even I have my own standards here where I can't push a lie like that. But no, I mean, it was good. It was great to see, and I just saw that on the OddsShopper Premium tool, where it wasn't even just the play itself. It was the books were moving towards 6. A couple of books were already moving towards 6. You still had a great line on Caesars at 5.5. But yeah, I mean, this series. Which flamed out faster, do you think? The NHL or NBA series? Not which was more exciting, which was, gained better returns, anything. What just was extinguished faster for you?
So I think for me, I guess the difference, and I hope this answers what you're asking, and I said this on the show, I didn't think that the NBA series was that live to be competitive. I didn't think there was that many scenarios where it went back and forth. Yeah. So to me, the NHL series felt like it got extinguished faster because I thought we might be in for a dramatic finish. And before I even thought that, it was 6-1 last night and the Stanley Cup was straight over.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there was still belief. First off, once you saw that Tkachuk was out, that was it. Like, forget it. It was over. I think you still had belief up until that something could be done. On the other side of it, Miami, you have a history of it. You have a history of Miami playing well and especially bouncing back and staying alive with whatever we've seen in the postseason. But there was just, it felt like there was just something different. And you and I, whenever that series popped up and we were on the show, we were in lockstep as far as Denver first half winning, et cetera. It felt like no matter how much you were talking about the Heat, you were talking yourself into a scenario versus Florida, where it was like, all right, so long as these guys are healthy, and clearly we found out that 2 of their top guys were not, Ekblad, another one, like, all right, that's it. Like, there's just no way. But it would take that. It would take killing them for that. That's all. So I'm with you.
Basketball's also, again, generally in basketball, the best team wins. That's just how it works in that sport. In hockey, you get hot goalies, you get weird stuff, like you can see crazy things. So I always think there's more room for drama in hockey, whereas in basketball, generally, if you're the better team and you don't screw it up in a series, you tend to win. And the Nuggets, I think we all knew from the start, they were in fact the better team.
All right. I put out a short just about an hour ago. It wasn't me. I just recorded it. Our own Nathan Joyce did all the work.
Okay.
And I took the top 2 home run plays on the board from OddsShopper Premium, put them together. Jose Barrero and Jonah Heim, 13%, 12% EV respectively. Now, since then, Elhuris Montero has entered the conversation, but his EV is just a little less than both Heim and Barrero. I put those together. I'm not advocating that we put those together. I'm just saying that I took those and put those for a nice little crazy short parlay. Point being is now looking at the tool, Ben, where we constantly remind you all out there, you home run honks out there. This is the spot. We're going to give you constant home run plays, not just on the tool, but every day here on any content that we have. Point being, Ben, is that Jose Barrero is plus 900 to hit a jack on FanDuel. He's plus 500 on Caesars. That's insane, the gap right there. So that's a 13%. And then even Heim's at 6-1. Everywhere else, he's at 4.5-1 or so. So I get it. Like, these are hitting home runs. This is not a single. This is not 3 Ks. It's not easy. But you're beating the market by a significant number here.
You are, and it's important what you want to look at, because it's not, and I'm not saying you're saying this, Caesars in your first example is hanging a horrible line. That's not the break-even line. So you see it's 600 and the other book is 900. You got to figure out which book is wrong. Like, if the true odds are 10-1, they're both terrible. But of course, once you search it out, you see that the true odds looking at the tool is around 7.5 to 8-1. So FanDuel is offering that. And FanDuel in general, with Dinger Tuesday and just all the time, seems to be offering some pretty advantageous home run spots. We did some good work on, I know you weren't there yesterday. Me and Lofty, Dinger Tuesday.
I know.
Put a couple of W's on the board. Evers. I had that one last night. Not bad at all.
How many did you guys give out? Because there were about 15.
Yeah, well, we may have gave out like 15, but we only count the W's. You know how it is.
No, look, look, if you're playing look at this. Like, just look at the top ones we have right now. Barrero, Heim, Montero, Seager. I'm going to bypass Hernandez because that's a 2+ hit. But I'm just saying, if you took the top 5, right? If you took the top 5 and you put $20 on each, that's $100 total, right? $20 on each. You hit one, even if you hit Seager, you're making profit, right? No, technically you're not. But everybody else, you're making profit by a little bit. Seager, you're not losing that much. But point being is that you have the option like Rosario, Newman. These are very small margins as far as the difference. 11% to 12%, 7% to 8% to 5%. You can still find a ton here, and maybe some make more sense to you or not. But the point being is that, to Ben's point and Lofty yesterday, you should be giving out as many plus EV home run plays as possible, because you don't need to hit a ton of these in order to break even or even make some money.
Yeah, you're just, again, your unit size is going to be very low on home run bets because your chance of success is minimal. And when you hit it, it pays off with interest. But just, you're not going to structure this with normal units. The bankroll, bet sizer, all that stuff recommends it, and you see it when you use these tools. So that's the one thing that's a little tricky when all your bets, or the majority of them, are like plus 800. You don't, it's not a normal way to bet, but it still can be very effective if the break evens are less than that.
So there's a bet that pops up because the market, and again, we just determine where there's a gap worth attacking, where if there isn't, if a certain market, for example, becomes unbettable because there just isn't a great wedge, then you're going to see fewer and fewer of those plays. But it's not removed. It's not like we took total Ks off. It's just those are harder and harder to beat. Point being is that when you actually find one up here, it might be worth a look. Ben Lively, I know he's come up a couple of times on shows with me and you, and with you and Lofty. Ben Lively under 4.5 Ks. We have at plus 110 on DK with the true odds at plus 105. Little wiggle room right there, still on a plus money play, but kind of caught my eye because you don't see a lot of these Ks, especially at plus money anymore.
Yeah, it's, again, just an efficient market and one that doesn't provide a ton. But you can still pick and choose your spots. Like, not everything has to be where there's this glaring error. You can say, okay, this is really close to break even across the market, and I objectively love this. I did this with the Dodgers yesterday. Like, the market was pretty much unanimous in where they were at, but I really liked that spot. So I said, okay, that's good enough for me to kind of use inference and take a position. And you're going to see that more with sides and totals than props, because sides and totals are really, really efficient. We had a question about a side. Padres minus 1.5. The Giants money line. I can tell you definitely want to bet that because that game is over. But the Padres tonight minus 1.5. You're getting plus, I mean, I see upwards of plus 130. 8.5. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't stand out. I think that's one of those, if you like Waka, you don't really believe in what the Guardians are throwing, I think you could take that spot, but it's not on my card personally. Do you have a position on that game?
I do not.
No.
No. I stayed away from that game pretty much across the board entirely. Not that I disliked it so much as I just didn't like anything specific. I'm looking. I mean, Machado, you can play under 1.5. That you could go individually, maybe, and that's another thing too, which again, we come back to this because there's relevance to it. Where, all right, you don't like the answer, or you like our answer and say, all right, well, these guys don't like anything in this game from a side standpoint, at least from a run line standpoint. Go through and see. Go through. Maybe you'll find a player prop. Maybe you'll find a record a hit, or you'll find something with an RBI, something along those lines, maybe even a home run, depending on how much you want to widen your range of betting. I'm just saying that just because we don't have an edge or a lean on a side or a total doesn't mean you should stay away from the game in its entirety, is my point.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just about finding spots. Sometimes there is none. Maybe you wait till you get in live, or maybe you do nothing at all. I do like I got Padres futures. That team's got all the talent in the world. They just can't get it together. But yeah.
When will you place your first week 1 NFL bet?
Probably for when it's week 1.
Well, what does that mean though? It's week 1 right now.
No,
technically it's week 1. Like
that's not technically. Yeah, just remove technically, and then I'll do it. Like if you have to tell people, that's a general life statement. If you have to say, well, technically, to explain what you're saying, whatever you're saying is a little flimsy.
It's
like,
week
oh, well,
1.
technically it's better. Food. Don't eat
it's that. Week 1. No, I'm not giving you some Bill Gates burger made in a lab.
Yeah, technically, this is safe. Probably a little dangerous.
Okay, look, I'll take it away. It is week 1. It absolutely.
Well, now you're just lying.
Lines are out.
Now
the lines are out.
So that's another way you can go. Yeah. There's
what
a lot of
day
people
of the week
sitting in Sing Sing at the jail that technically this wasn't illegal. Spoiler alert, very illegal. I don't know, I'll take some future positions, certainly as we get into the preseason. But with NFL, besides other sports, more than any other sport, there's such variance because it's just like, oh, my quarterback's leg fell off before the game. He got hurt, or they're missing a line. Like there's always a team or two that gets just bludgeoned by injuries that can work for you or against you. I don't see the need to put anything down for at least till August.
You're such a hypocrite. You know that?
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but why?
You're a human being, so of course like we all, right? We are flawed in nature. But my God, you tell me that you'll place an NFL futures bet, but you won't place a bet on that same team in week 1 because you're afraid of the guy's foot falling off. Yet you'll place a futures bet on that team winning a division or Super Bowl.
Yeah, because when you place a future, you have to full send it. When you place bets, and this goes for home runs or anything else, where the payoff is exponential, you already know there's a prerequisite that you have to get lucky. There's no team that's going to win the Super Bowl with like 800 injuries, but there are teams with a week to week that is less important. Like you don't need to run crazy good to win a random game. You have to run perfectly to win the Super Bowl.
I got news for you. You better jump on the Green Bay Packers money line.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Before that thing. Okay.
College football.
We're going to come back to this. Yeah.
I'm going to prep for that. I'm giving myself a couple weeks, and then I'm going to start to prep. And then I will bet those games because those games will move like 8 points. They probably already have.
Take a look at Tulane's under this year. Matt Rule's got a really interesting schedule too in Nebraska.
I will do that. I don't know anything about college. I start from scratch. Like I don't look at anything for like 4 months, and then I don't know anything about Tulane at all.
I'm going to give you one real quick.
Please.
Carolina Panthers to win the NFC South.
That seems,
or whatever the hell division they're in.
Yeah, they're in the NFC South for sure.
Yeah. Carolina to win the NFC South.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Why?
One guy. First off, they're not going to
Rule?
start the rookie. Matt Rule is in You know he's in Nebraska now,
I do
right?
know that. That's addition by subtraction.
Okay. Are you sure? Like you didn't just hear Matt Gajewski say something and steal that? Like you actually know he's in Nebraska?
That one I knew. Because poor Nebraska. Can't
Look,
get
Frank
Scott
Reich.
Frost era
Okay.
is over.
Out. Frank Reich is a better coach by a mile than any of these three guys, in fact, combined. So that defense is beyond legit. We saw what they were able to do with a competent interim coach last year. The rookie is not going to start. You don't have to worry about that. You know who is going to start? The red-headed rifle. This guy, Carolina, NFC South. We're going to come back to this tape, Ben. That's all. I'll leave you with that.
We will in like 8 months. That's the problem.
I can't
with
wait.
Like this.
I can't wait. Oh, yeah, but that's the beauty. It's going to age like fine wine.
Technically. No. The Falcons are kind of interesting, but that's irrelevant. What else?
See, look at you. You can't help yourself.
I mean, I do love football, but I would rather bet. I'd rather bet things that are more good for your health, like college baseball or esports or something. But
right. Dota 2
over
the over 53 and a half, which
now,
is
whatever that
EV
creature was. I don't know shit about any of that stuff. You turn it on, the monster's eating the other guy, and you're like, oh, I think that's good because those games are actually lawless.
Right. Yeah. The Saints with Dennis Allen is one of the worst coaches, record and ATS wise, in the history of the NFL. Go ahead, Mr. Nice Guy. Put your money on that. I refuse.
To get back to friend of the show, Tyler was saying before about the Padres. I said I don't really have a feel there. I will give a little alpha here. Xander Bogaerts over a half a ribby is over 2-1 on BetMGM. We have that break even inside of 2-1 at plus 194. So if you're looking to get exposure to the Padres, maybe in a different way besides just the team itself, a guy like Xander over a half a RBI is grading out pretty nicely right now in the market.
I can only deal with one Xander at a time making me money.
Yeah, that is fair. Did you say making you money? Yeah, for me, it's losing me money.
Well, I mean, at 20-1, let's hope this guy's got something. My God. No?
A lot of Bengals love. Okay.
Hey. I bring it up. Look at this. Keep the NFL stuff going. All right. First off, more comments means better algorithm stuff for YouTube. So that helps us. Ben,
now that you stop cursing, these shows have a fighting chance. Good job.
True. Very true. You're telling me that Lofty doesn't curse? I missed yesterday. He doesn't drop any curses. He's a hockey player from Philadelphia. He can't talk 3 words without cursing.
No, it's just you.
Okay. We got some promos, All
right. What do we got?
Did everybody use their plus 300? Right? For the PGA? You all used that out there?
I certainly did.
Okay. Right?
What do we got? Is it Dinger Tuesday again? That seems inaccurate.
No. It's I'm just looking at the other ones here. So we've got the trifecta make the cut. Look, if you're going to bet this, I think you should just bet Phil to make the cut. Last I saw, Phil, what's Phil's solo to make the cut?
That I don't know. In general, first of all, I'm not that's not my speed to make the cut. Parlays are very, very shady, but I know what you're saying, and I don't like Phil to make this cut. So
no, nor should you.
No.
I could troll you, but there's no validity in that.
And it's a hard cut to make. This is top 60. This is no joke.
So I'm with you on that. I think that's definitely high avoidance here.
Yeah. Anything with Phil Mickelson in general is high avoidance. Yeah. Then again,
now,
he shows up randomly, but I'm not on that wavelength.
Right. So let's look at this. Harper to record. We'll come back to the DK one in a second. Harper to record 1 RBI and the Phillies to win is boosted 225. Again, if you just wanted to look at elsewhere, Harper with an RBI and combine that, go ahead. But I think, honestly, the play for me would be to take, and if you can still find it at plus, I think it was 115 or 120 even earlier in the day. But I would bet the Phillies on the up 2 by early win boost and take them there over the BetMGM boost. Not to say that it's a good or bad bet, but the Phillies bats have been so hot and it's been so many different guys that I think it actually becomes easier at times to pitch around a guy like Harper if you're willing to just accept the fact that you're going to get smoked. Kelly here, I'm fine with just going over with the Phillies getting up by 2. They don't even need to win the game, but they've got a couple of guys who actually have some decent history there. So that's where I would go with that Phillies instead of the bottom one.
I get it. Yeah, 8.5 run total. And certainly, as long as they're going to continue to roll out some of these 2-run early win boost things, those are great. We've been doing good. The Rockies, seemingly it's always the Rockies for me, but regardless, it's something you want to take advantage of. You don't have to just take, even though the A's are playing amazing baseball. You don't just want to blindly back the biggest dog every time. You do definitely want to see if you get a road team with a high total, things like that to create that variance and get the 2-run lead.
So just looking at this on FanDuel to give you an idea, some perspective, the Phillies on the run line and Bryce Harper to record an RBI is plus 274. So you're starting from nearly 50 points behind another book to boost that.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is really difficult because they can shade it all sorts of ways, and you're really going to not get a true odds. It's just like the cuts. Like if it's a one-way line, oh, he's minus 500 to make the cut. And it's like, yeah, he's actually not. You just can't bet no. He's probably like minus 275 to make the cut. But there's no actionable way to short it. And that's where it gets really tricky.
Yeah, I agree with you. That there's just no reason for me. Again, like I mentioned that there. Okay. But those are some interesting ones. Have you looked at anything more? You know, we talked about some of these matchups. We can build a parlay here in a second. But just I threw a couple of these out. I played them. There's only one left now, and that's Rory versus Koepka. It's still a plus EV play at minus 130 on BetMGM. You got it from me on the Discord. Again, the Chalkboard app, the link, the QR code, you can just sign up. This is free. Like, this is necessary, must sign up there on Chalkboard. And then you can come hang, of course, with Lindy, Ben, Isaiah, who was just on an absolute freaking I didn't even curse, although Isaiah deserves the real F-bomb in front of the tear that he's on. My God, he's just crushing NASCAR this past weekend. But we give golf when golf's out. It's not just from the tool, it's in general. This was given out. I mean, we had it at minus, I think, 124, so it's moving. But it's still, amazingly, Ben, it's still hanging on as a plus EV play. And I would be inclined, if you haven't bet it already out there, to bet it again. Like, I know you're big on Rory all day. Brooks is a guy that clearly coming off that major, coming off a victory, but hasn't really been talked about as a great course fit out west in LA.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dangerous game when you're talking about U.S. Opens and Brooks, considering he almost won 3 in a row. He's
First
a high
time in
match.
LA, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's a cyborg. He's a machine. Obviously, I'm always a Rory fan, and this is a market-based approach. If you think the market's efficient, when you tell me that I can bet something at minus 130 when it should be minus 135, I would do that infinite amount of times, no matter who it is. So small edge, but golf is a very, very tough market with stuff like that. It's not the best sport for a market-based approach in general, but when things appear like that, you definitely can take advantage. And then there are small little things more on the projection side about are they paired together? Is one in the AM and one in the PM? What do we think the course is going to play like? Is there going to be wind? Is it going to be a split in the wave? Things like that are more unique to actually breaking down the matchup than the market.
Yeah, I get it. I think if you wanted to look at it from a big picture standpoint, it's who do you have finishing in front? You could always find somebody, and this gets on smaller markets, right? Like if you're taking, I don't have it in front of me, but you could just identify guys maybe on the back end, like, Thigala versus Matt Kuchar or something along those lines. One of those guys stands a pretty decent shot of missing the cut, where you cash that ticket halfway through. Last week, we gave one out, Moronk versus Mitchell. both missed the cut, but Mitchell just completely embarrassed himself on the second day. So that's it. So you're right. Like, I think that you can definitely get specific. It's a shout out. I mean, it's not often that we mention stuff on the other end here, but if you wanted to, you can use this insane sim tool that's out now for the PGA, for the DFS side, as you mentioned, just looking at from a projection based standpoint and maybe identifying some gaps there. That's always great. Look, I say this all the time whenever we bet golf, right? And I go back and forth a lot, Ben, where I cross over from what you and Jeff, what I can find from you and Lindy from the DFS shows, as well as taking what you and I talk about on Putting for Dough and trying to apply that to like mid or long range guys in DFS, where there's so much, not always, but similarity, I think you'll find more than in other sports.
I agree with that. It's golf betting and golf DFS or other variables are a lot more closely linked together. And there are a lot of unique markets for a major. It's just tricky because most of those markets are one-way markets and they're raked through the roof when it's like, okay, who's going to be the top European? And then it's just, 30 guys and their odds are their odds. So it is tricky there. Man, Hutch boy, just great guy. Really appreciate that. Very, very generous. Always hanging a chalkboard, making some money in there as well. I know he's been hitting the tennis bets with Lofty and Greg and whatnot. So we do appreciate that. Obviously, just all around good synergy there.
Nice. All right. So what do you want to go ahead to DraftKings here?
Go wherever you want, fella. You tell me.
Let's see.
We got to hit a community parlay today. Let me tell you, because yesterday, I believe we were 2 for 3 again. Close, but that doesn't get it done in the parlay world.
No, it does not. Lions Chiefs. I guess we can't play that, huh?
No, you can't play Lions Chiefs. You're right.
Boy, there really isn't. Let's go to DraftKings. Oh, Jesus. Oops. Can I say that? Or is that all?
I don't make the rules. You can say whatever you want. I think you can say that.
He's a Jew. He can't say it. Justin Turner. Jeez, this is tough, man. I don't know.
I mean,
I think, look, the easiest place to build. Okay, I'll throw it at you. The easiest place to build is FanDuel. I don't know if that's the most effective place to build right now at 4:33 p.m. Doesn't mean it's a bad place to build. I just meant effective is not charged positively or negatively. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Again, I think you have to understand what we're dealing with at times. If there's not a ton out there, there are just what you can't find 5-leg parlays that are all through the roof all the time because there's just not that many legs. Now, as more sports, more things, more leagues, more props, you get more options. And I think on FanDuel, to their credit, they give you a lot of things and markets that maybe sometimes you don't see. So I'm fine with that. I'm looking at the tools right now. I am much more prone to bet some straight bets than make parlays. I don't.
I'm with you. Let's do this. Let's build a parlay, and then we'll hit a community parlay, and then we'll hit some home runs and get out of here. What do you think?
That sounds good. That's why I love you. It's like, I think this is a great straight bet. You're like, yeah, I totally agree. All right, so let's build a parlay. That's why we.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. You're going to have time to hit me with all your straight bets out there.
Oh no!
But I'm just appealing to you, Rook, and I hope somebody ping Sean's on, please, and Slack, because we're about to hit some tennis up here, and he's going to absolutely love it. So just so he knows that we are talking tennis. Look, and rightfully so. Let's go to FanDuel, Mike. I know you. That's why I go to FanDuel here. I'm appealing to you. I'm appealing to Sean. I'm appealing to the smart people at our company. You think I'm going to appeal to me or Mike? Or,
you just want to get in a zero.
Lawrence is like, what are you dragging me into this for?
You like 0% ROIs.
Nope,
that's your
We're
thing.
not doing that. We're not doing that. I found it so that we don't have to do it. All right, Mike, let's go to FanDuel and let's get rid of everything except Amina Bektas versus Sakia Vickery under 2.5 total sets and Justin Verlander under 6.5 total Ks, okay? Now, easy game, right? Now, Ben, I
Yes.
would suggest, if it's okay with you, that we add Christopher Morel at -130. You are going to suggest that we add Pablo Reyes
Probably.
to get a hit.
No, it doesn't matter. They're the same. Again, the same expected value. If you take either of them and you put that, it's a great exercise actually. Like without doing this, because I'm just looking at the screens. If you take either of them, the ROI, the expected value should not change because they're both the same. Chance of success will change, but the ROI should not, and your payout will change.
Real quick, Zach asking, and I don't know, is that tennis match today?
No.
No, but is it like 6 a.m. tomorrow morning is my
It's
point?
I believe it's very early tomorrow.
Okay, so that counts, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I looked at this earlier and it was on the 15th. So I don't know when it is. I just know it's on the 15th.
Okay, so that's the first one. The second one now is Justin Verlander under the K's here.
Okay.
Are you okay with this?
Yeah, it's fine. 2% ROI. Obviously the most advantageous parlay that we could build would be the tennis one, Morel and Reyes. Those three together is the most powerful combination that's available.
I know.
Just saying, but you don't have to do that.
No. Actually, you'd be really proud of me. Last night we hit on the Discord a three, not always. We hit a 3-leg plus 350 or so parlay. I threw it out there on DK. It was 3 legs. It capped out, I think, at like plus 350 or something. And it took a lot for me to put that out because it was 3 legs and we didn't even get to 4.
That's big of you.
It
is progress.
I'm fine with this. I'm actually okay with this. I mean, you could theoretically,
technically.
Okay, I'm fine. You could add Volpe in there. You could.
Yeah, you definitely could.
But you don't want to.
No, it's not. Again, that is where truly it's a risk tolerance question. You can, it's effective, it's profitable, but you don't have to.
3 guys to get a hit. Reyes, Morel, Volpe. I'm going to take a shot. All right. You out there, you can do whatever you want. You want to leave Volpe off, then it's Reyes and Morel along with the tennis match total sets under 2.5. All right. Just wanted to get that out there. That's the parlay for us. We've got the community parlay. Again, you can hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. We love that. Push to 100K for the NFL season. But more importantly, below, we also have this link. Yeah, thanks, Eric Lee, 5 a.m. Eastern. We also have this link below. It's going to sign you up to the OddsShopper Premium tool. You're going to get 70% off your first month. I just think about the damage you can do. First month, 70% off. Take advantage of everything. That's awesome. That's less than a cup of coffee. What commercial was that?
I don't know.
Some life, like life insurance or something
life
like that.
Alert. They all say that. Don't they all say that? Less than $1 a day. Yeah, those. It could be that too.
I think no, you're right.
I don't drink coffee.
It's not the dog that you're saving. It's a human being, actually, Mike, that you're saving in another country across
I'd rather
the planet.
save. Dogs are good animals.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm a dog. Are you a dog over people person? I am.
Obviously.
I think it's a rhetorical question for you.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Community parlay. You ready? John Monahan. Don't worry. Yeah, Mike, if you can, if you still have it up there, that would be great. If
dogs
not,
dogs are definitely plus EV. Who won the community parlay? The Reds.
Oh, great. Okay.
What
are you going to do here? There's
well,
only one NBA game tonight, thief.
Well, no, I'm not going. I'm going to baseball because that's all I got. College baseball will be here soon
World
enough.
Series. Yeah.
Can't wait, but it's not today. Yeah, I'm I'm in a good spot here. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're on DraftKings. We've got the Cincinnati Reds from the community. I am going to go. I actually said I liked them yesterday. Put them in Discord. I'm going to do the same thing today. The Los Angeles Dodgers.
Wow.
Minus a run and a half at minus 125. I actually took a bad line this morning. This is a better line than I got. You've got Kershaw on the mound. That's good. He's been stupid good at home. 4-1, an ERA inside 2. Opponent batting average like 180. Just been phenomenal. Clevenger's ERA on the road, I think, is north of 5. The White Sox are a mess. They put up 1 run yesterday. The Dodgers were up 4-0 at the end of the first. I honestly see it a pretty similar game. I think the Dodgers will jump on them early. Kershaw will be good, and they will win going away. So give me the Dodgers minus a run and a half at minus 125 for my leg of the community parlay.
So I can go either Phillies here, which lost. Now they were a number 2 in there, but I have them today for the up by 2 promo that I put out on OddsShopper. So I'm locked in there. The other side, I did not like the WNBA line. I did not like it. It's pretty fair. I think at 4, there's probably a slight advantage to the Sparks. The total is sharp. It's moved as well against me. So I don't have any strong lean there, but I kind of want to break up the monotony.
Okay.
Right.
So you want to live a little?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just rambling. I got the Dodgers. That's all I know.
What are the Wings? Let me see. What are the Wings money line on DraftKings?
They are
if
not
it's anything
even
less than mine or worse than minus.
They're not even listed on. Is that a New York team?
No, this game is not even listed.
Okay. Good job.
Give me the Phillies. Although I should add we should add the Phillies run line here, to be honest with you. I hate playing the run line, but if it's a parlay.
What?
All right, so let's do this. Let's go over 8.5 instead.
This hits. It's an absolute.
Oh yeah. It was a 1 o'clock game. Thanks, Monahan. I knew I didn't bet it for a reason. Jesus. This is what happens, man. You guys got spaces going on. I'm all over the place.
Yeah. And that is true. We'll put that. That's a good call, by the way. Once we put in Phillies Diamondbacks over 8.5, what's the line on that? Is it just even?
Minus 110.
But if you can change that graphic to put in the word Dodgers, because people are going to think the Angels, and I don't want that Angels. Yeah, I know. It's all crazy out there. Look at that.
Yep. Not bad. And that was the general consensus we had on the Discord too, B staff, which was the Sparks. I just didn't bet it. I didn't like it, but 4 was the lead. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. That's a nice community parlay right there. You have the month, $1 a day, less than a cup of coffee. I don't even care how much frou-frou shit you're putting in your coffee. It's less than a cup of black, solid Joe. All right. The cheapest low-level shit. It's cheaper than that. So jump in, hang with us, minus 112 on FanDuel. What was that?
One of the lines, I guess.
Okay. Yep. All right. And we'll see you again. We'll see you again, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. Ben, anything you want to add here? Just a reminder about the Discord chalkboard. Anything else in between?
No, just same as always. At Shander Show, at JazzRazDFS. We're doing a lot of stuff on Twitter lately, so you don't want to miss that. Some free stuff, free content. It's just a good time over there. US Open. Cannot wait to see it. So if you have questions, hit us up. And so we wind down the week. Couple more shows with the Odd Shop. Thanks for stopping in, fellas. See you tomorrow.